Welcome back, everybody, to week. Oh God, what week is this? A lot.
It says 79.
Yeah, this is episode 79. Holy crap.
Dang.
Um,
Ah, look at us go.
I know.
Just a little bit further and we'll make it to the big 100.
I think we are. Next week would technically be the closest we could get to it. I think next week will be. We will be 2 months from have been doing this for 2 years. So that's four,
Yeah.
4, 8, 9 weeks from have been doing this for 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, that's impressive. Um, to give everybody a little bit of an announcement here, Katie or Asta will be joining us here in a few minutes. Hopefully, last we knew they were on a phone call with parents, which that happens. And with this time, in our time right now, I'm not concerned, but we are going to start and let them kind of catch up when they join. The other thing is I want to apologize. This week I have been busting my ass for family stuff, so the YouTube video is up, but I pulled a dumb and forgot to make it public to everybody. So it's now public from last week. I apologize. So you can check that out in the VODs now, and it will be. I will put it on. Make sure it gets put onto your podcasting services this weekend. I should have time either later tonight or tomorrow to do that, and that is my plan. I just don't want to do it tonight because it'll damper with my my own internet and stuff. So, with that being said, that is all that I really have for announcement wise, which means we can dive into this tonight. We'll just jump in with it. But first, who can give me a recap?
Well, who needs inspiration?
I mean, I don't think anybody really used it last week, but nobody?
I think we all have inspiration.
Ooh, okay.
Can I just do the recap for shits and giggles?
Sure.
Sure.
Because I like shits and giggles.
He just like shits.
That's why I'm still here.
I am gonna play this for background. So go ahead. Yeah, you're welcome to do it for the lulz.
Okay, this will be a refresher for myself as well because it's been a long week.
I think it's been so for all of us.
Yeah.
Last time on the world of Mundus, we finished a long rest. Well, we almost did when we were surrounded by an army of goblins that didn't last very long against us. We pretty much wiped the floor with them, all but one who managed to critically kill himself. Then we finished our long rest. Denoc did some stuff to make some more minions, etc., etc. We were in some abandoned ruins, and we did some searching around trying to see if we could find anything useful. And with a nat 20, my character Katya managed to find a tower just over the tree line, not too far away from where we were. Denoc also found the remains of an old teleportation circle that has seen some wear and tear and would have to be repaired before it could be used. At my behest, we checked out the tower first. And when we arrived at the tower, because it's a magic tower, we couldn't find the door without magic. Then we found the door and we went inside. There was somebody upstairs calling out to us. He was apparently trapped upstairs, and so we went up to go rescue him. Upon letting him out, we tripped some sort of what was it, zone of silence or something like that?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, something like that. We tripped a zone of silence, and with a bit of luck and Asta picking the lock, we managed to get free without the use of magic. If I remember correctly.
Oh yeah, I want to point out too that was a incredible role for them, because that, like, they needed a natural 19 or a 20 or something like that in order to succeed in picking that lock, and they rolled it.
She did it. She did it. Now, we never did catch sight of the mage, but he did leave a note essentially thanking us, telling us that if we ever cross paths again, he owes us. And he left the tower in control of the first person to speak to him, essentially Dinok. So Dinok is now the proud owner of his own mage's tower.
Which is an exciting concept.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We found quite a few magical items throughout, including golems that are used as sentries. But the most interesting thing we did find was downstairs in the basement was another teleportation circle, and this one was complete. It was massive. So essentially, yeah, there it is. So essentially, we'll be able to come back to this point at any time we want once we have access to teleportation circles in the future.
Also, the material for it.
Yes. I got quite a lengthy breakdown on how teleportation circles work, because even I, as a player, was not 100% familiar with how they work.
They're a complex thing. They're one of the more complex... Teleportation magic in general is one of the more complex things in D&D, so don't worry too much about that.
Don't ever let Katya be in charge of using a teleportation circle, because with his messed up magic, could get everybody in a lot of trouble.
Also, I would like to point out we are at that point in the campaign where we will be able to use teleportation magic. Not a lot of campaigns get that far.
We've been doing this for 2 years. I would hope to God you guys could use teleportation magic.
Now if we could just fly again.
That's a 3rd level spell, buddy. You could easily... Anyway.
But that's pretty much it. We were about to divvy out all of our magical items when we wrapped up the session last time.
Okay.
By the way, those items are a bag of tricks, an ever-smoking bottle, eyes of charming, cloak of protection, and an elixir of troll regeneration.
And a cracked drift globe, but that was already given to Valnar.
Because he can't see in the dark.
Ah.
One thing that I would like to also point out as well is that the point of being in the area that they are in is to effectively scale the mountains, because they are at the base of a mountain range, sort of, and they are attempting to find find a fallen angel and acquire some of its blood. They do know that these creatures can be rather hostile, depending on how long they have been fallen, to say the very least. That is really the only other thing that I wanted to kind of point out.
Oh, and I got alchemist supplies.
Yeah,
So that's always neat.
which is good, because you have, I think, enough herbs and stuff to make potions with, if you so chose to.
I do believe I got from, what was his name? Lavander. I managed to acquire essentially enough ingredients to make up a couple of healing potions on my own.
You did, yep.
Now I just gotta get lucky enough to do it.
Okay. So, with that, we're going to go ahead and dive back in. As you guys are in the tower now, kind of here in the main room, you guys have identified some of these magical items. Also, by the way, at this point in time, Katya, your spell would have faded. It only lasts 10 minutes.
Sweet. And then I reapply Alter Self.
Okay. Easy enough. And you... I think we can change your token for that as well. Yep. And so with
Oh, you did that again.
Yeah, I discovered if you could make a separate, just a decoy character sheet on Roll20 and attach that token to it, I would be able to place the two tokens out there on my whim.
I can do that, yeah.
Yes, that would be very helpful. So you don't have to keep going back and forth. I can do it for you.
I mean, it's not like I deleted it or anything like that, but yes. So you guys have these magical items. You know what they do per DNOC. If we need to look them up again, we can. But otherwise, how would you guys like to distribute them?
Well,
Go ahead.
Deanoc will look to Cardin and be like, I feel kind of partially responsible for you losing your old one. So, here. And he tosses you the Cloak of Protection.
I'll catch it.
As well as hand off the Elixir of Troll Regeneration to you.
See, that's what I was interested in.
Now, since Cardin already has some goggles, I don't suppose I can convince you to let me have the Eyes of Charming, or what were they called again?
That's
what
it
they-
exactly.
Okay.
I don't feel safe giving you these, but at the same time, it's probably the best solution.
I mean, I can always use my natural charm to convince people of things, but if magic is necessary, at least I don't have to risk blowing myself up for it.
He reluctantly hands you the glasses.
Thank you, Deanoc. And she'll put them away.
Okay. And you can find and you guys can find pretty much, yes, all of these items I believe are available on D&D Beyond. So if you get, for those of you who are using them, those of you who use D&D Beyond as a reference, they are all available there.
Ooh, needs attunement.
Other than the Elixir of Troll Regeneration, that one is not on there. I will state
Gotcha.
that.
That's fair.
Cardin is after he gets his stuff, he's just going to start looking around a little bit more.
Okay. Are you going anywhere? I mean, currently you're at a table.
Yeah. Actually, I'm probably going to check. Let me adjust my screen. Here we go.
By the way, Deanoc will hand Asta the ever-smoking bottle.
Oh, okay.
Cardin's actually going to check
With her hunter's mark thing, I think that'll be really useful.
It very well could be, depending on how they used it, yes.
Mm-hmm. Deanoc will keep the bag of tricks.
I say he'd probably check a little bit, upstairs, I would think. Upstairs.
Okay, give me 1 second here. I'm going to add the ever-smoking to Asta. Okay. So upstairs, you remember that the stairways just goes up and leads into that room that you were in, and then briefly locked inside.
Okay.
It would be not that one. Hold on 1 second here. It would be
Hey, Roll20 has the bag of tricks. Yay.
nice. You would walk into this room here, Cardin.
He'd just be looking around.
Make a perception or a investigation check of your choice.
Okay. Yeah, let's go with perception check here.
I imagined it would be.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
Wait, what?
not good.
Okay.
That's a pretty bad roll for Carter.
I know, but we're confused that the dice says 7, but it says you rolled a 1 on that one.
Oh yeah, that is weird.
Yeah. The digital dice can sometimes get cocked. It's all an algorithm, so the digital dice literally mean nothing, but they're cool to look at.
I know, it's just weird.
Well,
Uh,
if they're clogged,
to you, Carden, the room seems to be relatively. In terms of it being a room, it is a room. You're not sure what else is meant to be in here, but you see two ever burning torches and a kind of a raised kind of dais thing in the middle.
Dais.
Yeah, thank you, dais. Kind of in the middle. That you remember you guys pressed previously, and it locked you within this room and casted a zone of silence. At least in the room itself, so.
cool.
That is, you remember that from before.
Yeah. Well, he's going to see if there's anything on top of the dais.
Other than the button, basically, that you guys pressed, there is not.
Carter's going to touch the button.
The button's what triggered the actions previously. Are you sure about that?
That silence
Yeah?
and the door lock.
Correct.
You know what? I'm going to roll for it.
Okay.
High or low? High or
it.
low end.
Which one is which?
High, I do it. Low, I yeah. High, I do it. Low, I
You don't. Okay.
don't.
Rolled.
This is for stupid idea.
Okay.
It's high.
So he probably wouldn't do it at that point then. With a 14.
I thought you said hi. He does it.
yeah.
Oh yeah, high, he does
Yep,
it.
you did.
I press it.
Okay. Carden?
I'm
You are
walking through-
you are now on this map, but alone. I guess this part over here technically would still be covered. I just haven't reset the fog of war there yet. So, Valinar, I think you're the only one. Come on, drop back down. There we go. Yes, Valinar, as you are sort of close to the stairway. Oops, that's
Hasn't
the
changed
wrong
for
one.
us.
I wasn't changing. I was just checking to see who was closest. So Valinar, you are the closest one to the stairway as of before. You hear a coming from the stairway upstairs. I will, just because I can. Oop, wrong one. There we go. I will change it for you guys to adjust to that.
Carden.
What?
Did,
What do you do
did
now?
Carden, did you press that button again?
Carden, you don't
If he
hear
did,
anything.
You wouldn't be able to hear.
Why didn't
If he did, you wouldn't be able to hear it, or he wouldn't be able to hear you.
Go try to open the door.
Okay, it is locked.
God damn it.
What happened?
Wait, hang on. Let me check something real quick. Because I'm wondering if I could just dispel magic knowing what's over there. Or if I need to be able to see the location.
Ooh, that's a great question. I think you have to be able to see it.
Choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range.
Oh, then no. You could choose to dispel the silence.
I'm just gonna dispel the silence since I know it's on, or at least I'm 99% sure it's on the other side.
Yeah, and you're not dumb, so you would know that, general idea of where things are, considering it was less than 10 minutes ago that you were up there. What level are you casting Dispel Magic at?
It'd just be the basic 3rd level.
Basic 3rd level. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll something real quick.
Okay.
Okay. You cast Dispel Magic.
Yep.
And does it say? I'll give it to you. You would know, Valinar, that your spell took effect and you dispelled the silent spell.
Okay, cool. Carden, can you hear me now?
You can, Carden.
Yes, I can hear you.
Did you-
the card?
Did you press the button again?
I mean, it was a big button.
The one that, locked us in a room where we couldn't speak or hear? Valna's
but
also trying to open the door.
I was just
Got to
thinking
be
there might be
kidding
a
me.
different effect. I was just thinking there might be a different thing every time you hit the button.
What did you expect? That
Not
a
how
muffin was
buttons
gonna
work.
pop out of it?
The door itself is technically still locked. As you kind of push on it, it does not budge.
Denock will. Excuse me. Let me try. And he'll try for the door.
What are you trying?
Try and open it.
Okay.
Seeing if me being the tower owner. By the way, hi Asta.
Awesome, she's here. Amazing.
Welcome to the party.
Hello, sorry I'm late.
No, you're
I
fine.
don't suppose you can ply your trade to unlock a door that Carden shut on himself again.
Well, hold on,
Carden.
hold on. I gotta. I am thinking, because that is a very interesting question. Because technically, I mean, yes. Hold on, I'm gonna roll again just to kind of see what kind of protections are in this thing. Okay, so yeah, so what happens is as Denock passes you in this hallway, Valinar, he kind of pushes past you, and as he places his hand on the trap door, effectively, and begins to push on it slightly. At first, Denock, you feel the resistance, as if it's being held in place. And Carden, you watch as the lock that has magically appeared in front of you, basically, you watch as when the door pushes and it pulls taut, that it glows. And it glows this kind of bright green color before just almost burning away like ash. And Denock, as you press this a second time, it lifts up without issue.
There we go. Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Carden,
Oh, that was fun.
get out of the room.
Fine.
Alright, so you guys come back downstairs.
Have you learned nothing, Carden? Remember back on Isurus when you thought it would be a good idea to spill some blood into that demon circle and you summoned demons that could very well have killed us all? Haven't you learned anything?
It was a
Not to
button.
mention his running ahead. Running
Getting
right into
close.
Getting dropped by a troll.
It was a generic ass button, okay? I must push button.
one that had a predetermined effect.
I figured there might be something else that happened when the button was pushed.
I figure
Did it
And
give
if
you
you don't-
any indication of that? Or was that just a harebrained idea?
It was an idea.
that if you
know,
don't
like, sometimes how
understand,
there's like a rotating like button thing you press.
no. If you don't know what the button does, you shouldn't press it. What if it had been a self-destruct button or something and the room exploded instead?
Then what's the point of not pushing the button? You need to know what the button is.
We already knew what the button was, Carden.
This
Guys?
is almost as bad as when Katya refused to come out of the mirror forest.
I'm gonna try out my new goggles.
Okay.
Hey,
Oh wait, I'm not. Haven't taken the time to attune. Never mind.
Oh,
What is it
yep,
all
good
in
call.
where was the guy locked up that we freed? Because I don't remember ever seeing him.
He said he was in this room, but not quite, right?
Correct. I believe it's this map.
Yeah. So then where was he?
And there's another room to the side, I believe.
Yeah.
You
So
don't know that.
I don't
You
think
don't
we
know that.
found that.
yeah, I'm gonna move people in here so that y'all can come on, click and drag. Thank you.
I wonder if there's a secret. Phantom, stick your head through the wall. If there's another room,
Yeah, that's right. You had a phantom with you, so won't.
So what exactly were you trying to find in this room?
so the Phantom's gonna. Can I have control of the Phantom, please?
Oh, you don't? Shoot, my bad. Oh, wrong one.
I mean,
Come
that'll work.
on.
A Phantom named Arjaz.
Arjaz. Wow.
That's a blast of the past.
What an ancient warrior.
So the
That's what
Phantom's
happened
literally
to
just going to stick his head through the wall.
Okay. My thing is being super laggy. There we go. Okay.
And if
so
there's nothing on the other side, he'll just keep coming back in, going to another spot, and just poking his head out.
that's not the right one. All right. Eventually, he will find it. It is. He will reveal that it's over here.
Is there anything in it?
The Phantom just looks at you.
Hold on, I gotta look something up. Because this is an interesting question on how this would work. There we go.
If the room was magically sealed before, which it might have been if the mage was unable to escape from it, would that mean that the phantom would also be trapped?
Well, somehow us pressing the button released him without us ever seeing him.
Maybe there's
Okay,
a tiny
so-
teleportation circle in there.
So, point of note. As your Phantom Warrior sticks his head through through this wall,
Mm-hmm.
he blinks out of existence.
Oh! Do my magical...
Entirely?
Excuse me.
You can make an Arcana check. If you want to know if you want to try to understand what happened, you can make an Arcana check. 20?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna look.
Go with Katya's first.
Katya, it's a wall.
And there's no phantom.
Correct.
Okay.
I would say with a 20. That's a pretty good roll. You would know, Denock, that you don't think he's gone permanently, but you're unsure of how he would return. but you would know that there are only a few spells that would trigger in this regard. And what I mean by that is there are only a few spells that would cause a undead creature or a magically enhanced creature or a magically living creature in a sense to vanish like that. One of them is like I believe the Hollow spell, which you are somewhat familiar with due to your background, and it would and the issue that you have with that spell is with your superior intellect. The individual who was in there previously, you have to assume was or is a mage. A hollowed spell would not keep them trapped in there.
Yeah.
However, there is another spell, an old, ancient spell that you have never seen in action and have only ever read about it, basically. That could be the answer to what just happened. And that is the 8th level spell, Anti-Magic Field. Could have
the player.
created this. Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, it is a very high level spell that, to the best of your knowledge, has been forgotten. Or at least you've never seen it in practice. But keep in mind, as you guys are level 10, you guys are probably some of the most powerful casters in existence at the moment. Barring demons and people who are siding with the demons. But you don't know about those guys yet. So, some of, like I said. So, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna feel along the wall for magical or non-magical present.
Presence?
Like the presence of like the ambient amount of magic that is naturally in the stone, like the absence of that. If this is what Deanoch thinks is the anti-magic field.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and make another Arcana check for me. And this one applies to, like, the whole room, kind of walls and stuff like that, so.
Ew!
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
That is a natural 1.
Uh-huh.
However, you still have a
this
10.
This is Deanoch's first time attempting this kind of thing.
True, and... What the
So
hell?
who knows? I could just be doing something stupid.
Maybe. But, because this is a skill check, you still end up with a 10. So I will give you a little bit of something. If this tower is magical, the anti-magic field where it currently exists would create the wall that it is on to be, at the very least, must be mundane stone. So you would, with your best guess, you would know that the wall here would be
Normal.
to the best of your understanding anyway. With that roll anyway.
Katya, step back. Going to try something.
What are you about to do?
Oh, I'm going to try something, and it might have a little bit of a splash.
Okay, I will be way back by the door.
Fair enough. And on this point right here, the
Yep.
extreme point, Deanoch's going to unleash his breath weapon for the first time this campaign.
Amazing. What is his breath weapon?
Acid!
Acid, so that's a dex save, right?
Yep, for a wall.
Alright, the wall automatically fails. Go ahead and roll damage. I don't know what it is for. So you are.
Yeah, we'll just have it there.
Yep, 3d6. One level away from 4d6.
Yep.
11. Okay. You almost unhinge your jaw for a moment, kind of like a snake in a sense, and this bubbly green acid kind of just and splatters on the wall. It deals damage, and you can see that it does heavily affect the wall. It does not, however, pass through completely. The wall itself seems to be holding relatively strong.
But it did work partially.
It did. It took some damage, yes. And I'm just looking up something here to make sure that the wall isn't vulnerable to acid. I would think that it would be, but it does not say. I'm going to say that it is, and that it has taken a good chunk of damage. But, like I said, still standing and looking relatively strong.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of gross. Please don't ever do that again.
Well, there's reasons I don't use it very often.
Why not? It looked effective.
Yeah, but do you hear how he's talking? It's gonna be really hard for him to cast.
Talking voice.
It's gonna be really hard for him to cast other spells now.
I'll be fine in a few minutes. It's just a little raspiness. Anyone got some water?
Do you want me to try and blast through the wall myself?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, then you may wish to stand back.
Where's that water skin?
You find one. What are you doing, Katya?
Hang on.
While Katya is doing this,
Boom! I dare that wall to dodge.
Okay, lightning bolt automatically fails. You use the 3rd level spell, and it takes 37 points of damage. Okay, you and it blasts into the wall, and you can see chunks of stone falling down, and this large scorch mark, kind of on the wall. However, kind of peering at where you hit, you can just ever so faintly begin to see the crack and reveal of the other on the other side of the room.
Wait, that's not the number I rolled.
I'm
sorry. Continue.
No, I'm done. You said something. What did you say?
When I rolled the D100, I swear I got 31, but it came out as 55.
So
yeah, the dice are being dumb today.
Yeah,
the dice are being dumb today.
So I don't want to suppress that one.
The 55.
Yeah, 55 is better.
I have to grab my. I have to grab my sheets of Katya bullshit.
I got special sheets.
Everybody in this game has special sheets. 55. Okay, your speed increases by 10 feet for 1 day. So for the next 24 hours, you have 40 movement speed, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
You're as fast as Garden now.
So. It takes the damage, but like I said, you now have like the side width of like a dime that you can peer through into the other room now.
Damn.
It is a thick wall, and looking at this now, You can see that the wall itself is probably... Give me 1 second. I want to say it's close to... Yeah, it's like... It's right around, 8 inches of solid stone in terms of thickness of this wall. You guys can blast through it. Enough time, and even with cantrips, you guys could do it. It is going to take some time.
Cardin,
I want to hit it.
Maul.
Who at the mall?
You're welcome to. Like I said, if you guys are planning to bust through the wall, we don't have to role play it out. It's just a sack of hit points that you guys are gonna have to get through.
That is clearly a nat 20 on there. Come on now.
But also, 2 1s on the damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minimum damage.
Yeah. So, anyway, like I said, if you guys want to break through the wall, it just takes time.
Well, now
Well,
that
they're
Enoch-
looking to. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
now that Enoch knows it's there,
Mhm.
ritual cast. See if it's a mundane wall or if there's like
Interesting. Make an Arcana check for me. This just kind of determines how detailed your identify gets.
soft 20.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. So the wall itself was originally magical. The wall itself was originally formed by the spell Wall of Stone, and I'll give you that with the dirty 20 spell since it's a 5th level. But the moment that the wall was in place and it made contact with the anti-magic field, it became regular stone, but it retained the properties of being a wall of the wall from the spell. So it's a very thick and dense wall. So,
By the way, where's my phantom in there?
the anti-magic field is still up, so as far as you're aware, the phantom is not there.
Yeah, but we can see through it.
There's a crack,
Yeah,
a tiny, tiny, tiny crack.
And my phantom isn't looking through it to get orders from me?
Nope.
I just think it would be funny looking into the peephole and all of a sudden an eye peers back at you.
It would be. But based off of the details of the anti-magic field spell, he is not. So, what do you guys want to continue to break down the wall? Do you guys want to say?
While Karn's
Oh yeah, what did you
bashing
want
at
to say, Valinar? You were talking earlier.
Valinar's just gonna check the kind of stones around, kind of like off to the side
Mm-hmm.
of where they're bashing, and just see if he can find like a button or a switch or something.
Yeah,
That
go
would
ahead
be
and
funny.
make an investigation check for me.
No,
Womp womp.
it's a 5.
Hard to
Now,
concentrate with all that carding.
I will say, because you guys are not stupid. Well, most of you aren't. There is an individual in your party that is very good with identifying stonework and working with stonework and seeing how things are laid out.
Oh yeah, Asta is a dwarf.
That is correct.
So,
I take it
Ding,
that's
ding, ding, ding.
kind of my forte.
Yeah, you're a dwarf. You know rocks real good.
So while the rest of us chuckleheads are trying to break through the wall, one of us is, pawing the wall looking for a button. You're sitting there like,
That's a
Guys?
nice boulder.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like sitting in the back with my arms crossed, just kind of waiting.
Okay. Is there anything you want to look for or do while they're doing their thing, or no?
Yeah, I'll kind of like circle the room while they're doing their own thing, and I'll just kind of like investigate on my own.
Okay. If you want, you can roll investigation or perception for whichever one you would prefer to roll. And then whatever you roll, add 4 to it, I believe, is your guys' proficiency bonus.
I got one more thing I'd like to try.
Okay. Let's see what she rolls first.
All right.
Let's see. I will go with investigation.
Okay. And while you guys are, and while she's doing rolling, you guys are actively trying to tear the wall down, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
So 25.
Natural 20 for 25 plus 4 for a 29.
Haha!
Worth being
Dang.
good.
I know rocks.
Yeah, you know rocks real good. So, with that roll, as they're tearing the wall down, you will notice that I'm gonna point it from here. Oh, maybe not. Here we go. So right here, this section of wall right here, and this section of wall right here. On either side of the sconces here. So again, here and here. Those walls are slightly, ever so slightly recessed. Like you could push them. But that's what you notice, and about the time you are like, oh, that's interesting, the wall comes tumbling down after you guys because Carden is, I imagine you guys are having Carden do a lot of the work, and you guys are just gonna blast it with cantrips, correct?
Actually, I had something else I was going to try.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Rona.
Yeah. I was going to try Dimension Door. To the other side of it.
Okay, 1 second.
Oh no.
Oh god.
This is gonna be good. Because it's an anti-magic field.
Yeah, but I don't know. Does it block you from being able to teleport through it?
No, but
Because
I'm
I'm
just
not coming in
wondering all the
contact with it.
fun that's gonna happen with your
I'm also thinking
magic
I don't
stuff.
I don't think Denock told us it's an anti-magic field.
No, he didn't. I just see a wall with something behind it. I'm like, I'm gonna warp myself in.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Okay.
That was almost a defeated one.
Well, no, it's really confusing because it talks about, like, teleportation magic just fails, is basically what it says. But then it goes on to talk about planar travel and other planes of existence. So, I'm like, wait, does he get teleported to another plane of existence when he tries this? Oh, no, he just fails. So, you teleport... physically, you teleport as close to the wall as possible. So you teleport right to the wall.
Nose to the grindstone.
Pretty much. And that is all the closer you get.
Oh shit! Which means I'm right there between Carden and the wall.
Yes. So, Carden,
Uh-oh.
make a strength check for me as you're tearing through this wall. Katya, make a dexterity saving throw, please.
You mean I have time to react? Okay, cool.
Well, it's more that Carden's pulling the hammer, giving you the opportunity to do so.
Oh no, that's a bad roll.
11? Okay.
18.
18? There they are. That sucks. Katya, you managed to dodge the blow of the hammer, but as the impact on it, like, it's literally one of those moments of like, holy crap, what? And turns and sees the massive hammer, and she just falls on her ass, basically.
Oh no!
And as it impacts the wall, you take 4 points of bludgeoning damage from falling stone.
Ow!
And so unless there's any other bright ideas,
Katya, are you alright?
I'm just peachy.
that could have really hurt.
Yeah, it
By
could
the
have.
way,
It really could have.
Is
But
that
I
a
maintain
spell of
concentration.
yours?
What?
Is that a spell?
It is.
It is a spell, which means the next part is right here.
Yep.
45.
45.
Contrary to what the dice say.
Yeah. They're a little fucky wucky today.
I mean, I'll take it, but it's not going to make a difference.
Yeah, you probably haven't used any at this point in the day.
Precisely. I think I have them all.
So there you are. You have all your.
Oh no! Wait, yeah. I used 2 of them. There you go.
Okay. You recover 2 sorcery points. Not sure what you used those for, but okay.
Fighting the goblins.
Yeah, the goblins.
But you would have had a
Something
long
to
rest.
deal with that.
Anyway.
I don't know. Good question.
Yeah. Any more bright ideas before I tell you that the wall is broken down?
Well, D-Doc's gonna be like, Katya, are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine. I got a tiny scrape on my knee from that falling rock, but I'm okay. At least I didn't get hit by Cardin.
Yeah, I guess that answers my hypothesis.
Which is...
Yeah, there's something that stops magic from going through that wall entirely.
I saw that firsthand.
Yeah, I think I know the spell. Maybe.
What spell is this?
Now, it's been a while since I've read the book, so forgive me if I'm wrong, but I do believe it was Field of Anti-Magic... No, it's Anti-Magic Field.
Never heard of it, but...
Yeah, it's old. Like...
Is it kind of like what your
I
parents
think.
had for their lab?
History for that one?
I'm sorry, I missed that part. What did he say?
I asked, is it kind of like what Denox's parents had protecting their lab? I remember there was some kind of suppressing field that kept us from using magic when we were trying to access it.
Okay, yeah, you can roll history.
Because... Yeah, I do not remember.
Jeez. 27. I don't think I had a lot of notes on your parents' lab. So most likely it would have been it would have been something like a lesser version of anti-magic field. It's not something to completely nullify magic, but reduce the effects of magic. And this is simply because if it were to nullify magic, they wouldn't be able to do any work in there at all. So it would have been something similar to... I guess something similar to a more of a like a constant kind of like dispel magic, where it's just constantly keeping the magic at a certain level rather than just letting it just canceling out completely. So not exactly, but kinda is a good answer to his question.
For Katya, Dino's gonna say, yeah, no, but close enough.
So is this something I could safely like dispel?
In
You're welcome
a
to try.
few years, maybe. This is technically classified as a 8th level spell.
So in theory, I could.
You could
You know
certainly
your spell
try.
better than- You know your spell better than I do, which is weird.
So
I will-
just for
Go ahead.
what were you starting to say?
Oh, I was just gonna say, do you guys want the wall down yet or not? So.
I was gonna say just for shits and giggles, Valnar's gonna try to dispel the anti-magic field.
Okay. And what level do you cast it at?
He, knowing that it's high level, he's gonna actually cast it 5th and pray that helps.
Okay. You cast the spell at 5th level, and you know that the spell has no effect.
Oh, I don't even get to roll the
Nope.
attempt.
It is
Okay.
in the spell description that spells and other magical effects, such as dispel magic, have no effect on the area.
Cool. Oh,
So.
that didn't work.
Man, you think the wall would fall by now?
It it tumbles down as Carden is dripping in sweat, and breathing
Question, was
heavily.
Arden shirtless.
Isn't he always?
Yeah.
I'm totally not paying attention right now. Totally not.
Sorry. The reaction there was just so good. All right. Ugh.
Absolutely not paying attention. Not in the least. I need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Is it Constitution or Wisdom?
To maintain my magic, Constitution. Okay, that'll work. I can't maintain my concentration, you know.
Okay. All right. The wall comes down, and peering inside, Carden, it is a dark chamber. There's no light, although there is light coming from the torches now. But the room itself appears to have a bed and a long since full basin that reeks of piss and other fecal matter.
Oh no, it's a chamber pot.
Other than that, though, the room appears to be empty.
Appears to be empty. Carden's gonna look.
Okay. You step inside.
You okay there, Carden?
With your passive perception, you do not see anything.
Okay.
With a 15, you do not see anything. Other than the bed and the chamber pot. Although you would see on the walls, on all of the walls, basically any kind of open space on the walls here, you see what appears to be faint scratches in the walls, as if thousands and thousands of tally marks have been made all over the chamber, filling almost every square inch of the walls, ceiling, and parts of the floor.
Somebody was in here for a while.
Deanoc will take a look. Oh.
Also,
Shit.
Carden, something that you would notice, the moment you stepped into this room, you can no longer see the dark corners of the room.
I'm gonna check the dark corners of the room.
Okay. You go to the dark corners of the room and find nothing. In this corner, you find a little bit of a wet spot.
Great. He's gonna go over to the bed and check the bed.
Okay, what are you looking for?
I'm literally just looking to see if there's anything in the bed.
Alright, you toss the bed and you find a pillow and sheets and a poor excuse for a mattress, all of which that have been worn thoroughly to the point of, like, they needed to be replaced a long time ago.
Is there anything under the bed?
There is not, as he tosses
How
the bed.
long has this guy been here?
I'm sure you can count the scratches in the wall and find out.
Wait, how did he survive? If he was in here that long, pointing to all the tally marks, how did he survive?
That's what's worrying me.
Magic to create food? Water?
Anti-magic field stops magic from happening.
Oh. Then that is a good question. How does
Now-
one go without sustenance for so long?
If they're not a mortal race.
Eh.
Do you think he might have been an angel?
Not quite what I was thinking.
Hey, Dinoc, can you roll a D100 for me?
Oh shit. 72?
Good. As you guys are having this conversation, you guys hear a ding, and you watch as from the ceiling above, the stonework almost like turns and opens, and not a plate, a ration of food just kind of and just lands on the ground as though.
Oh!
It was self-feeding.
What's the food?
It is basic rations. Like, it is dried jerky and some nuts.
So where does it come from? Somebody passing it down through the ceiling?
Also, that bell sound resonated throughout the tower. Dinoc, with keen mind, you know it is basically noon.
Huh.
Is the hole it fell through still open? Or would Val even be able to tell that?
After it falls through, the hole reseals itself.
Okay.
The ceiling appears to be just out of range of the anti-magic field, but with the room size, it would be physically impossible without some kind of, like, spider climb ability to stay up high enough to cast a spell. So,
Unless
Well,
we
it's-
were to go downstairs and grab a chair.
It's certainly crude, but that
Just out
That
of
works.
curiosity. While in this room in the anti-magic field, Valnar's going to take off his glasses to see if his eyes glow.
okay, so you're gonna step into the anti-magic room and take
Oh,
off your
shit.
glasses. Okay.
Question. What's happening with the magical items people are holding?
If you enter the room, make an Arcana check. $14?
Ew.
The moment they enter the room, the weapons appear to be mundane.
Hey, Carden. Take a look at your, favorite weapon. Your axe.
You look at your axe, Carden, it looks like your
Yeah.
axe.
Yeah, I look at my axe and I said, it looks like axe.
Try hitting the bed.
I
See if
fail
you feel
to
a
understand
difference.
I fail to understand what we are trying to accomplish here.
His weapon's now just a normal axe. Oh!
Oh god. Oh no. This would be a bad time for low severity.
I'm gonna roll
High
it.
severity?
I'm gonna roll it.
Roll it.
Ooh, I rolled a 9. You just miss. Like-
got
like-
lucky because you could have just taken your magic axe and made it
So-
mundanely broken.
So, you definitely damage the axe a little bit on the stonework, but you're like, oh no! I mean, that can buff out. Like, you damage it, which is weird after you take a moment, after the panic kind of sets down for a moment, and you're like, I've never damaged this before by slamming it into stone. Valinar, as you kind of take your glasses off and begin to set aside, kind of open your eyes, and you don't feel the glow. And for those of you who are in the chamber or near the chamber, you would see
Well, here's
that.
a question: which direction is Valinar facing when he opens his eyes? Is
I
he
mean,
facing the wall?
I mean,
Is
he
facing
can't
us?
see. He can't see his own eyes, so he would have to face somebody.
Probably
You
just looking generally in the room, like just at the very start of where the
So you're standing.
magic field is.
Basically, you're standing here because I don't have a square elsewhere, and you're just. Are you
Pretty
gonna look
much,
at Deenock then?
Probably.
Okay. So, Deenock, you would see that where Valinar's eyes normally, like the entirety of the eyes, are shining relatively bright, but not like. They're like a soft
headlights.
They're like a soft 60-watt light bulb, normally. Currently, standing within the anti-magic field, there is light, but it is like a pinprick in the pupil of his eye that's kind of faintly flickering.
Ooh, hey Valinar, what color are your eyes?
They're green. They're like a forest green.
Okay.
So, and that is
I didn't
the
realize that was your eye color.
and
Yeah,
Wait a
no one
second.
does.
and the
can
light
see
that
your
flickers, I think, is something similar, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the same. It glows the same color as your eyes.
Yeah. So yeah, which is kind of weird because you got the circle that's like this forest green, and then there's this like just flicker of the same color of green in the absolute center of his pupil. Yeah.
Okay, since everybody else is seeing what happens to their magic, I think it's time I step in and see what happens to me.
Deenock is 100% making sure he does not enter.
Okay. Smart. All right. So Katya, you step in. You become a male.
Oh. Well, that kind of sucks.
I'd also like to imagine about this point in time, Asta's like kind of like, so are you guys gonna keep dicking around, or can we go down this way? And points at the wall.
Oh
Wait,
yeah, that's
what?
definitely her attitude about it.
How do you convey the message to the rest of the party?
Well, first off, can I see them from where I'm standing? Like, is
Yep.
there just a
Well,
doorway
yeah.
or?
Look
You
at
can
where
see-
Deenock is. There's
Yeah,
a hole next to him.
Yeah, you can see everybody except for Cardin, but you know he's in there.
Gotcha. Okay. And it's like a pretty small room. Are you guys cramped in there?
Eh?
Okay, so basically where I'm standing. Okay, so basically where I'm standing, the wall just like opens there, basically.
Yep, as far as you can tell, the wall kind of opens here
But it's not open currently.
and here. Yep. Yeah, exactly. You can tell. Asta can tell that if you were to push on it, it would move in. You're not sure what kind of resistance you would be met with, but Asta, you can tell that part of the wall is recessed just enough to give you the idea that there is a doorway of some kind there.
Gotcha. Okay, I just kind of look like in their general direction, and I sigh dramatically. I'm like, "Are you guys done screwing around yet, or what?"
What?
Oh, believe me,
what?
we could do this for another couple of hours. I'm an expert at it, apparently.
I roll my eyes
nodding
and I'm
in
like,
agreeance.
I just roll my eyes to them and I'm like, well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm gonna go this way.
Wait, what way?
Into the wall? That doesn't sound very smart.
Well, where y'all were messing around, me being a dwarf, I know rocks, and this area in front of me, the wall just opens up. You didn't have to just, break it down.
Hold the fuck up.
What?
Nobody asked me, so.
Do you go and
Hold
you go
hold
and
on.
push on the
Hold
wall?
This is now wrong. Hold the fuck up.
I just kind of lean on the
Here's-
wall and just like push it.
Wait, no, seriously. My phantom went
Yep.
this direction.
Yep.
Poking his head out.
Mm-hmm.
But you specifically told him to see if there was anything on the other side of this wall that because we were looking for a cell.
No,
Well, you guys- Yeah.
I told him I told him specifically, poke his head out
Yeah.
each area and notify me if there is anything.
Correct, and he would have if he noticed anything.
Phantoms don't know rocks like dwarves do, apparently.
He just didn't have the stones for it.
Hold up.
It's a magical fucking tower, D-Knock. That's about the best I can tell you.
It's a plot hole. We'll go with it.
That's not how these towers work. But yes. Asta, as you push on that part of the wall, go ahead and just give me a strength check.
Okay. Oops, not that. I'm blind.
No. Blind's blind.
Well, you
We've
managed to very stealthily touch the wall and nobody even noticed.
We've been through this. I'm actually more blind than blind. So, what the hell is my strength
Maybe,
check?
maybe we should change your gamer tag to blind attendant.
That'll do. That'll be fine. That's fine.
Since I'm blind
Where's the
pilot,
actual button for it,
blind
though?
attendant.
It's
So
just
you would-
the strength.
Yeah, it would just be strength. The word strength underneath your
Yeah,
strength
I know
score.
that. I can't find it. Am I just that blind?
Yes.
And
You know.
so
Do you know
our
what?
main
Stupid.
scores on
Do
the
you
side of your
There
character sheet?
She figured it out, I think.
It's that. It's the same number.
It's fine. It wasn't a very hard thing to do, but the moment you press on the wall and give it a good push, you watch as the wall kind of recesses, and it kind of takes a moment, like a mechanical kind of. And as it does, D-Knock, you get a mental ping in your head, and basically you understand that the fuck. Where are my notes?
I'm loving it.
You get the basically the mental understanding that the barracks have been accessed effectively is what you get the mental understanding of. Asta, as you and push this wall open, and it swings like a door, you are led into a hallway. It opens up into a hallway that probably stretches for probably rough guesstimate 120 feet or so, and about every 10-ish feet you see a door on either side of the wall. Or either side of the hallway, sorry.
So there's like a door on my right and my left.
Yep. And those occur about every 10 feet all the way down the hallway.
So basically, insert Scooby-Doo scene.
Yes.
Okay. To save time, as you guys exit the anti-magic room, all of those... We'll put you guys here. All of those rooms... Oh, I dragged the doorway with me. I didn't want to do that.
Carter dragged the doorway with him.
Yeah.
Every one of the rooms is a bedroom. There is a bed, a desk, and a chamber pot. Those are the only 3 things that are in common in those rooms.
So they all pretty much look like the room that they were just in.
Sort of. There's a desk in those ones, though. There's not one in the previous room.
Oh, so they're a little bit more VIP.
Yeah. And they're bigger. Each room is a little bit bigger than the room that you guys were just in.
Can we like just stop and check like the desks, stuff like that, to make sure there's nothing in them?
Yeah, after doing a couple of the desks, you learn that all of the desks are empty, and you would assume that all of the rest of them are as well.
Okay.
I'm getting vibes like walking through somebody's house in Skyrim.
Kind of.
But the person who owns the house is right next to you.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to be here.
Put a bucket over their head.
Also, at this point in time, Dinak,
chamber
you know
pot.
that your phantom has not returned. You kind of noticed that.
Mm-hmm. It's getting a little worrying.
You can
So, what does one mage need this many rooms for? Do you think it might have
An
something
army.
to do with? Do you think it might have something to do with the teleportation circle downstairs?
Yeah, I'm getting that vibe. Especially since apparently this building is sending me updates when we do things. I got an update when she opened that door. The barracks have been accessed.
So you mean a literal army?
That's
many of-
what I'm afraid of.
How many of these rooms are there?
420.
Roughly.
Well, each room takes up a little bit of space, so every 10 feet. We'll say
Say about 30 to 60.
honestly, it would be closer to 60, if not like 90 or 100, based off of the spacing and having one on either side of the hallway. And with the hallway extending about 120 feet or so. So yeah, there's a lot.
Small army.
And there's nothing like that stands out about any of the rooms from one to another.
No, there is not. Dinok, with your keen mind, it is almost boringly the same. Like, the
Sorry,
bed...
it's actually 24.
Huh?
120 feet, if it's every 10 feet, would be 12 sets of doors times 2 is 24 rooms.
Oh, there you
give or
go.
take.
Thank you for doing the math.
You're
So
welcome.
there's... We'll call it ballparking at 30.
Goes
Just
in
because.
math corner.
Yep, Rona,
So.
put it there.
Working on it.
Of course you are. So yeah, there are quite a bit of rooms, and Dinok, with your keen mind, they are almost boringly the same. They might, like, every now and then they might have like a desk and a bed flipped, or something like that. But for the most part, they are almost the exact same size with the exact same kind of 4 walls, the bed on the right, desk on the left, chamber pot behind the door in every room, and it's almost...
And all the doors are these little rooms. There's no leading hallway.
Correct. Once you get to the end of the hallway, it just stops. There doesn't seem to be anything else any further down.
Hey, Asta, is this an actual wall?
I go to wherever he's pointing and I check it out.
Okay, make a investigation check. +4.
Why is there's been such a delay, like when I click it from when it rolls?
It's not just you. So +4, that's a 27.
I know rocks.
The wall, there does not seem to be anything more to the stone wall. It seems to be the end of it, and there does not seem to be any other indication that this wall is a false wall, like in the previous room.
Okay. I let him know that.
Okay.
And then do you
What
show
a-
him the other room as well, or just this one?
Well, since she didn't say anything about
I know,
the other
that's
one,
why I was
Enoch-
asking her.
I know. Enoch is going to say, so since there's one hidden wall, there could be more.
I suggest we go and check every single wall in this tower until we locate every last one.
Well, first, also, was there another one in the big room?
Yes, there was. Directly across from the one we just came through.
Joy of all joys. All right, here we go.
She
And
points.
he's going to return, and he's going to try and push the wall open.
Okay, so. Well, hold on. I want to try it funny. Based off of what she said, where does Enoch go?
She said direct opposite,
Uh huh.
and since this is a
I'm gonna let Rom the player make this decision. I just want to see what he would do.
I know the part of me that wants to be funny does say here, but the part of me that's like, okay, smart brain move, exact opposite place.
Okay, that's fine. And he,
So,
Enoch is a
I'm
very
gonna roll-
smart person.
But I really want to roll for the dumb moment.
He's a
Sure.
very
Yeah.
smart dragon.
I mean, sure, if you want to get technical about it.
Okay, he's. If I had rolled under 10, yeah, he would have gone.
Like the 2 that shows, not the 13.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. It's okay. It happens. Enoch is a smart individual, so you come here, and
Smartest of the bunch, apparently.
If it was Cardin, though, I'm just kidding.
Arden would have just gone to the other side of the torch.
You want me to
He would have
on
put his
something?
hand. He would have put his hand in the torch. Said, "I don't see the wall."
Actually, I would see it. I would just try to push it with the torch handle.
That almost seems like it would make sense.
so you step there and you press, and there's a moment where you're like, where your brain kind of does this kind of like alert, access granted type of a thing. As you push and it holds for a moment and then it and swings open, and then there
I
is
feel like these are the secret doors in Dark Souls 2.
sort of
Oh god.
you know though, however, that as you push and you enter this room, you get the alert, or you get the understanding that this is it is a singular room, and that this room is effectively the experimentation room.
Oh,
So,
the
what-
laboratory.
in a sense, yes. What you see as you walk in is like burn marks all over the stone. Like in the center, there's this giant circular one, and this room is probably 30 feet across in every direction, roughly. And there's just giant scorch mark in the center, kind of in a circular shape. There's giant scorch marks along the walls, as if like raw lightning has been crawling along the walls, scorching the walls themselves. There is a faint smell of like brimstone, and it almost feels like a kind of like an ozone kind of a tingling sensation, as if lightning might strike. I would say your hair is kind of standing, but you don't have hair. Other than that, go ahead.
How big is that center scorch mark?
You would guess, at a quick glance with your intelligence, it's about the same size of what a fireball would have been, roughly.
Mm-hmm.
outside of that, you see a workbench on the right-hand side of the room, and it's kind of like a large workbench, but it looks a lot more like physical tools rather than like any kind of magical or alchemical. And from this distance, make me a perception check just to see if you can see these other anything else on there.
Dang.
Oof.
5. At this distance, it's a little difficult to make out, but there does appear to be at least something on the workbench itself.
Okay. Enoch's gonna like slowly put his hand in. Basically testing if there's another magical anti-magic field.
Okay. There does not appear to be.
Okay, he steps in.
Okay. As you do so, nothing happens, and you can walk over to the bench. Or wherever you wish.
I'll be like, don't do this to me.
Hey, that's part of the fun of being a DM. I get to fuck with my players. So.
Okay. What's on the bench?
Okay. You walk over to the bench, and you see a pair of gauntlets that are large and design and have this almost like spiked like design that is more reminiscent of like dragon scales, where they're kind of at a slight angle, where if you were to like in theory punch through something and then pull, you would deal more damage when you're pulling your hand out.
No way. It's got to be shark scales, so therefore it has to be smooth.
I mean, it would be. It is similar to like fish scales or shark scales as well, but dragons technically have the same kind of design. But yes, that is a great way of thinking about it. Like if you ever run your hand along a fish in the reverse direction of which they swim, that is like what it is like on these gauntlets. But they're
serrated.
Yeah, but they're like
Sweet.
razor sharp. And without even making an Arcana check, Dina, you can tell that these gauntlets are immensely magical.
Oh boy. Okay, I'm not even gonna bother with a ritual.
You're just gonna cast detect or identify.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull up the exact details of the item, because this is
Cool.
one of my things.
Oh.
So, the identify spell reveals that the item itself is called Reckless Abandonment. There are a pair of very rare gauntlets that require attunement. While attuned to these, you value strength above all else in a sense during these. Your strength score increases by 2, increasing your maximum to 22. So potential max of 22 now, not 20. In addition, you gain the reckless attack feature if you don't already have it. If you do have it, the reckless attack. If you already have the reckless attack feature, when you make an attack, you treat it as if it was a +1 attack when using the feature. The identify spell also says that this item is not fully developed in a sense. That the item itself has room to grow.
Room to grow?
Mm-hmm. Basically meaning above games for player knowledge. Effectively, there is an exalted version of this item. And you have to cheat. You would have to go through some way of unlocking that exalted form. What do the rest of you do as he kind of? Well, hold on. As he's staring at them and casts identify, and the information is flowing into his brain. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Dinok, what did you find in there? Is it safe to enter?
I mean, you saw him enter just fine.
Can I see that he's not dead from where I'm standing?
Yeah,
You just
absolutely.
see him staring at these giant gauntlets. Oh, actually,
He appears to be
how big are
frozen
they?
in place to me.
They're rather large. Like you
So
would
we're
have.
talking like, something like plates, gauntlets.
What's your strength score? I can't remember.
Total of 8.
8. You probably could have put these things around your biceps and still had a little bit of room. Yeah, they are like plate-sized gauntlets, and judging from the design, they probably were designed for somebody who is bigger than the average human. Maybe like a half orc or an orc or even a Goliath or something like along those lines. Just a bigger being in a sense.
Half orc.
Aw, like John. Aw.
Carden's like gauntlets.
Gauntlets?
Carden, as you walk in with dark vision and a passive perception of higher than Denox, you would see leaning up against the workbench a quiver.
Ooh. Asta, there's something you might like in here.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it looks like there's arrows in it.
Ooh.
There does appear to be a few arrows within it as well.
Well, I'm just assuming.
I come closer to investigate.
Okay. You guys eventually enter the room. I do not have a map for these because I didn't feel like making a a 4-walled room for you guys to see a workbench and burn marks. Denoc, what do you do with the gauntlets as you're reminiscing about who they could have fitted and then had a brief moment of sad? Because I'm assuming Denoc doesn't dwell on that too long.
He's just like, these could have fit John. Aw, sad face. Anyways,
Back to business.
Well, let me see if there's anything in there for me.
well, for Denoc's thing, with the identify spell, can you tell if it requires attunement?
It does require attunement, and you would gather that.
Everything all right?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Denoc's gonna try and put them on just to see how they feel.
Okay. You put them on, they are massive in comparison. They feel a little weird because they're, like you twist your arms and they swing around a little bit. But they're on. You'd have to take some time to attune to them to find out if anything additional were to happen.
Yeah, he's like, oh, neat. Hey, Carden.
I imagine you just, hey, Carden, and flick your arms out like you're throwing throwing knives from your hip and they just slide off your hands at him.
Like, they just straight drop. You don't even, move them very far.
Dexterity and strength.
Nice.
Well, then.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll d20, see if they hit.
Yeah, go for it.
No.
14.
I don't think.
Karn's gonna try and catch them. On his hands.
Oh!
Oh no, is that a sleight of hand?
Hmm. Which one are you worse at? Sleight of hand or acrobatics?
They're the same score for me.
Oh, okay. Then you can choose between those two.
It makes more sense to do sleight of hand.
Okay.
21!
I will say with a 21 and the natural 20 kind of dexterity and the decent strength to get it to where it needs to go, there's a moment where you're like reaching out for them, like you're trying to take them from D-Knock, and as you see them flying through the air, you just close your hands like you're doing like a knife jab with your hand, and the gauntlets just rotate ever so perfectly as they slide onto your arms. They don't go all the way to the right position, but it's easy enough to adjust them from there as you slide them on.
Okay. These feel pretty good.
And I will send you the information on reckless abandonment. That way you have it for your own uses.
Man, you're getting all sorts of stuff for Carden.
You're the one that chose to give him the cloak of protection. I said nothing for that one. Because honestly, the cloak of protection could go to either Carden or Katya, because Katya is also has a low AC now.
I mean, I had that barrier ring, but still.
To bump you to 16, which I think is the same as Carden.
Yeah.
Actually bumps me to 17.
Huh?
It bumps me to 17.
Oh, right, your Silken Pride shirt.
Yep.
Okay, 17
Plus
is
my
technically...
dex.
Yeah, 17 is actually higher than Carden's armor class.
But Carton is meant to get hit. A lot.
Barbarians don't need AC. I don't know how many times I've had to say it. Now, I will say barbarians with high AC are incredibly funny to play because they're like, why can't I hit you? And the barbarian just laughs. But you can also get into trouble there as well, where if the barbarian can't hit, and then nobody can hit the barbarian, where they're just wasting rages. So...
Yeah.
I believe it's called Bright Silk.
Hey, Valinar, how many things are you attuned to?
3. He's attuned to 3.
I'm attuned to 2.
Oh.
The third item was the amulet that I lost. And Lightbringer is actually not a attunement item.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Learn something new every day.
The Lightbringer. Excuse me.
I do think it would be hilarious though if Carden was to go around with just gauntlets, trousers, and a cloak.
That's
Just
funny.
the mental image.
Okay. Asta, you pick up the quiver, and inside the quiver you see 5 arrows. Kind of inside of it.
Okay.
Go ahead and make an Arcana check for me.
Okie doke.
This is a check that you don't make too often, but you are magically inclined, so I will allow you to use it.
Alrighty. We're just trying to see if the bow is or if they're magical.
Correct.
I clicked you.
It's going. There it is. 10.
Well.
It could be. I mean, they were found at the at the workbench of a very powerful mage who also just left lying around some very powerful gauntlets. They could be.
I'll just test it out and shoot someone. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, you've got a guy who identifies things on the regular right next to you.
It's true. Could just ask you, huh?
You gonna?
Yeah, why not? I'll present it to you, and I say, hey, Dinok, do you sense any magic on this item here?
He's going to get ready and ritual cast identify and just be like, yeah, give me a minute.
Okay.
Or 10. This is a good time for me to look around the rest of the room.
Yes. Go ahead and make a perception check. While you're doing that, you ritual cast identify on the quiver, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
Oh.
the arrows.
The
7.
the spell identify reveals the quiver to be a swift quiver, which
With?
swift. Yep. Which, upon saying, Asta, you immediately know what a swift quiver is, because it is a very technically is a very high level spell, known by some archers. Or no, I don't want to say a very high level spell, but a high level spell that is known by some archers. And you do know that if spells, if done correctly, can be imbued into certain magical items. Basically, for this quiver, as long as there is you can put a non-magical piece of ammunition into the quiver itself, and as long as there's at least one piece in the quiver, you have unlimited arrows, basically, is how it works.
Ooh.
Dinok, I will say, just because you have a very high arcana and the identify spell would be like air, the arrows that are in the quiver are not non-magical. They do have their own magical essence. Katya, with a 7, and you look around the room, there does not appear to be anything else.
Darn.
I will say, because they are blatantly obvious, go ahead and make an Arcana check for me.
What? That's a 19 on the die. Don't lie to me. I guess we're going... No, you know what? Fuck it. I am going to inspire that one.
Ooh, okay. Reroll.
Yeah, because I don't trust this die tonight.
They're all wonky tonight, buddy. You're not the only person.
16 is a much better.
Okay, 16. With that, you notice how some of the sparks on the walls are kind of arcing in directions and stuff like that. And you begin to wonder, how did that occur? How did that kind of happen? If it's lightning, how did the lightning begin to curve? Because you've only been able to do it in a straight line. With this, with that Arcana check, you begin to get the idea of a new potential meta magic option.
Oh.
And this is basically a homebrew thing, where you can potentially cause spells to take slightly different forms. It's kind of like an altered version of the Careful spell.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. It's a slightly altered version, and it is something that I'm still technically working on. So, and with a 16, that is just not a high enough roll to put all the pieces together, but it plants the seed as an idea.
That's great, because I already had the Careful spell.
Oh, do you
So
really? That's
Yes.
perfect, actually. I didn't know that.
I have that meta magic, which means maybe this is the piece I'm missing.
Maybe. That's funny. You have 3 meta magic options now?
Yeah.
I didn't know what level you got your third one.
I think it was either 9 or 10.
Okay. Alright, fair. I'm guessing you ritual cast identify on the arrows as well. Is that correct? Do you not? Okay. So, Asta.
Yeah, 10th level.
Okay. Asta, I need you to keep track of these ones specifically. You no longer have to keep track of any of your other ammunition, but these 5 arrows, I need you to keep track of. Because these 5 arrows are sleep arrows.
Sleep arrows.
Mm-hmm. They are an uncommon magical item. And basically, when you shoot from them, they have the property, or they have the ability to potentially put somebody to sleep. There is a Constitution saving throw. Dinok, you would understand that the DC is 14. And if they fail, they fall asleep, as if they were under the effects of the sleep spell. So, there's only 5 of them, however. So, make sure you keep track of those ones, just because when they're gone, they are gone. Unless somebody finds a way to reverse engineer and make them themselves. But other than that, there's not much else in this room.
I feel great potential here. As a matter of fact, if I went back across the hall and got one of those empty desks, dragged it in here, I could set up a shop here and start mixing things up.
Yeah, and it looks like it's explode proof too, so that's perfect for you.
Explosions did not make these scorch mark. I might tell you. This is actually caused by lightning. Though, what's really odd about it is all the lightning I've ever seen typically goes in either a jagged line or a straight line. But if you really look at the scorch marks, some of the finer lines are actually curving. But it was lightning, nonetheless. I don't know exactly what they were using lightning for in this room.
That's interesting. Explosion. And Garden is going to sort of go into the sitting room area, probably at that point.
Okay. As you guys begin to make your way, I'm guessing back downstairs?
I mean, we really need to check every single wall in this tower now.
Okay, I will say, for the sake of expediency, there are no more hidden rooms.
Okay, then I'm gonna start setting up my shop.
I mean, you could just use the workbench that's in there.
But it's already... okay. Fair.
Either way, eventually you guys make your way back downstairs and kind of begin to kind of mosey about for a little while. I'm assuming that Dinok still wants to peruse some of the other books on the shelves.
Yeah.
And what we will do is, as you guys make your way back downstairs, we're gonna go ahead and take a break because we are a little past our break time. So hang in there, guys. We will be back in just a couple of minutes. And of course, my computer wants to do an update. Well, it can wait till tomorrow. So we'll be right back, guys.
You teach it.
I will. And we're back. Thank you guys for bearing with us through that. Okay, where the party kind of ended here, they were coming back downstairs to do some more perusing. One thing that I will say, as you guys come down the stairs, I would say Carden would probably be the first one to notice it, just because of his beast-like nature and his sniffer. There is currently food on this table.
What?
Arden will immediately just start eating the food.
Yep. You walk over, and it's not super great food, but it's sustainable. It's basically, it would basically be like, probably, like, it would be like leftover turkey and mashed potatoes, kind of a meal.
I mean, I'm fine with this.
Mm-hmm. There is no gravy, but turkey and mashed potatoes. It's kind of like leftover. It feels like. You Carden would know that it's definitely not fresh food.
Yeah. I just feel like
And it would be, at this point in time, it would be almost cold, but not quite cold, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Carden's eating. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm going to peruse the bookshelves for the ones along the back wall, not the ones that are standing free. So these ones
Okay.
over here.
Sure.
So see if there's anything interesting.
Okay, go ahead and make a investigation check for me.
I'm gonna roll an int thing to see if Denock makes the connections that Rom did.
Sure.
3! The dice at 17! This is crap.
Okay. As you wander over to the bookshelves, Rom, what does he come to the realization?
Yeah, well, he comes to a realization. I don't know if it's the one you intend.
Okay. I mean, I don't know what you intend to do, so we'll find out.
He makes the correlation. The mage was able to get out of the room after the button was pressed.
Mm-hmm.
So if Denock goes upstairs and presses the button again...
Okay.
We'd have to rescue you.
A couple of things happen. One, the door does shut, however, it does not lock, and the dice does not lower. But the room itself. Hold on, I'm gonna do a thing here because I can. Is this the right one? Yeah. We'll do this room. Bump, 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 bump. Bring you here, we'll say. Come on, load faster. Womp. You come over here, you press the button, the door does close, but it doesn't lock, which is notable. However, the moment you do, through the hole in the wall, you watch as your phantom reappears.
Well, there you are.
As you speak, you do not hear anything leave your mouth. There is.
I mentally command him to come out.
Okay, he does so. I am working on. Womp.
And is the button back? Is the button still there?
Yeah, you can actually press it again.
Do so.
Okay. And as you do, sound returns to you. The hatch kind of flips open.
Okay. Head back down.
And you head down with your Phantom Warrior, who is here. He's just on a different layer.
And as Denock comes down, he's like, okay, gotta figure it out.
I did it! Yay! Now let me see. Anyway, Katya, with a 3 investigation. Let's see. I'll give you a little bit of information. You learn that this particular tower is a mage tower. Hold on to your
Wow.
pants, because it's not
Wow.
over. It's not over. It continues to state that in the book that you are reading currently from, that there are only 7 mage towers in existence, according to the book you're currently reading.
Only 7. Does that include the floating islands, or it doesn't specify?
You are unsure based off of the book that you are reading. You can tell it is old, but you don't know how old that book is.
Might be good information to bring before Denoch.
So, what are the rest of you guys doing?
Valinar wants to look for books about Kalistars to see if maybe there's some here.
Okay.
Tardan will be attuning to his gauntlets and will probably he's deciding on the cloak. What he wants to do with it.
Okay. So I just imagine you're sitting at the table, kind of meditating ish. Valinar, go ahead and make a investigation check for me.
Okay. 5.
5.
Hey, you're on
Okay.
par with me.
This is getting bad.
I think that's the second 5 you've rolled on an intelligence-based roll tonight, Valinar.
I think so too.
With a 5.
Oh, also investigation. Sorry.
With a 5, you do not find any books on Kalishtar. You feel as though, looking over the books that he had that there are here, he doesn't seem to have any books on it as you kind of read over the spines of all of the books that you can find.
Okay.
I don't know if Asta would be interested in looking through books of this nature. We're just gonna say she's attuning to her quiver at the table with Carden. Denoch, anything you want to do? As you come back down with your... I'll put you over
He is
here,
going to
Valinar.
categorically look at every single book.
Sure. Roll a investigation check.
Okay. Where is that? Where's that sound clip of the directed by soundbite thing?
I don't know if it'll work. I don't think
Robert Wilde or something like that? Robert Weed? I don't know.
Yeah, Robert B. Weed meme sound.
insert here. Okay.
Because that's been going on all night, you know.
Mm-hmm. You do find some stuff. Let's see. You know what? I will say you find one of we'll say you roll something. You find something. Can you roll me a D3? You'll have to use the chat by typing like r slash I think it's r slash and then D3. I think is how it works.
/ roll space D3.
Yeah. Or you can do R. So it's /R 1D3.
Okay. R1D.
1. Okay. Oh, cool. You find a book on Essen Colin himself.
Oh wow.
It is not an autobiography. It's more of a kind of like a noted kind of collection of people's understanding of him. Basically, what you learn through reading through these books, some of these books, is that Essan is a elven man who was already relatively I don't want to say seasoned, but he was an older and a little bit older for an elf, or not for an elf, but like for a human standard. So he was probably 100, 200, maybe 300, ballparking it. During the original demon invasion, and
Wait.
he was. You heard me.
Oh shit.
And he was a very important factor when moving troops for this war across Mundus, throughout the world. Him and the other mage towers were used as a transportation system to come and go as quickly as they could, and to supply troops where they were needed and where they weren't. He was also he was also the proprietor, or the person to invent the first war golem, which you would know is currently standing at your front door. Due to his
in relation to the statues that we found on his wrists. Sorry, let me be more specific. The ones at the summit.
You would not be aware. You wouldn't know.
I'm asking that as a player.
You don't know.
Fair.
However, and it does detail, however, due to his paranoid nature, he never wrote down how to create a war golem, preventing anyone else but himself from ever being able to make one. In addition, during this time, Colin was regarded as one of the best minds in regards to teleportation magic.
Oh shit.
Which also explains why he has such a large teleportation circle in his basement.
And why he's got food magically being teleported.
Yep. But that is basically what you find and learn about Essan Colin.
So how did he ever get locked up in a cell? If he's so powerful.
I'm shrugging.
Okay.
We'll find out.
I mean, being fair, it wasn't, in an anti-magic area.
Yeah, well, that brings in several questions of its own.
Yeah.
Why he's got an anti-magic field in his own tower, how he got trapped in it in his own anti-magic field.
Or somebody else
probably.
put it there.
Well, the way that room was set up, that...
How long ago was the first Demon War?
2,000 years ago.
Yeah, a little over 2,000 years.
So maybe this is me not remembering. Do elves live that long? Because I didn't think they did.
I thought they lived about 1,000.
So did I.
So I have the way that I rule elves, and just because of the way that they can be, elves can be practically eternal, provided they don't die of some other disease or illness. Another point in fact, most of the elves that you guys have encountered are like half elves, and you guys haven't seen a whole lot of full-blooded elves, and there's reasons for that. There's also the few that you have met are rather young in terms of like when the war occurred and stuff like that. So they were most likely born and raised on the flying cities that you met them in, or on the surface. I don't remember if you've met any on the surface yet or not, though.
I believe we did. Elaine.
I thought she was half elf.
No, she would have been. She was a full elf. She was a wood elf, but yes. But very. You guys could tell that even she was very young for an elf. Like she probably wasn't even in her first century yet. But you never asked, because it's rude to ask a lady her age.
I just assume she must be young.
But yeah, it is. Elves can live for an extremely long time in this world, and a lot of that just happens to be part of their connection to the Feywild, and the difference between how time flows in the Feywild and in the material plane is part of the reason why they can live so long. So, now, not saying that there isn't an age limit to elves, I'm just saying it is very high.
I think it's like, what, 5,000?
I mean, you don't know. I'm shrugging.
Yeah.
If any of you guys played an elf, I would tell you, but none of you guys play an elf, so.
True.
So, is there anything else you guys want to do in the tower? Is there more that you would like to investigate? Is there anything...
What? So it's just a little afternoon-ish.
Yep. At this point in time, it's probably like 1 or 2, as you guys have had some time to kind of attune to your items and read through some books and stuff like that. So Carden, Katya, Asta, Katya, if you so desire, can all be attuned to their items.
Yes.
So
Sweet.
Carden, do you attune to the Cloak of Protection?
I was thinking about actually giving it to Valnor, because he's the other one, sort of like frontliner with me. And clerics sort of rely on their AC.
Clerics are my other AC. I like that line a lot, actually.
Cleric is how Arden stay alive. So.
Well, here's the question. You said you're at 2, and then you...
Everybody's cutting out for me.
I didn't hear the rest of that statement. I heard something about 2.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
My brain disassociated right there for a second. Sorry. You've got 2 attunements, right?
Yes.
So you could fit the 3rd if you want to. But I thought you had like 3 amulets, or 2 now.
I lost the amulet of health.
Mhm.
I still have the amulet of the devout and the amulet of proof against detection.
Yeah, and then if he gets something else that he wants, he could always switch it over to another party member as well.
Musical cloaks.
Yeah. Like, I know it could be beneficial in some other members, but like, I just feel like Valinar would probably be able to use it the best.
That makes perfect sense. The rest of us would prefer to stay out of combat. Dinok, Katya, Asta keeps her distance. We shouldn't be getting hit if the tanks are doing their job.
Ooh, hold on. Can my phantom wear it?
Huh.
Huh, indeed.
I'd give him an 18 AC.
I'm going to say no for right now, but I will
Dang
look. But I will look into it.
Because if I gave the better armor to two of my skeletons,
Mhm.
that implies that my creatures can wear better items. Yeah, it's mundane, but
Like I said, I don't know, because yeah, like I said, I'm gonna look into it, and we'll we can change it later, but for right now, I'm gonna say no, just for the time being.
okay.
At least
I
until
mean,
I
that
can,
was
yeah, at least until I can confirm something, rather than just going off of my gut.
that's just an interesting thought.
It is interesting. It's just, yeah, it is interesting. Not sure on that one.
Well, Denock's actually going to suggest we rest in this tower for a day and head out in the morning.
Downtime sounds perfectly fine to me.
We've been on that we basically haven't really stopped to rest since we got to the surface.
Yeah.
That's because everywhere on the surface, everything tries to kill us. But we're actually safe here. For now.
Keyword being for now.
And if I basically say, don't allow anyone to enter the tower, it should lock it down.
Just to be safe, perhaps we should sleep downstairs, surrounded by the statues.
You want to be directly in the teleportation circle.
I didn't say that. There's plenty of room around the circle. Just lay down
It's
there.
probably safer in the barracks.
It would definitely be more comfortable in the barracks. And I'd get my own room. Yeah. Let's go with that.
So,
You guys move to
Cardin, Alinar, is that okay with you guys?
But
Yeah, staying the night's fine. Yeah.
yeah,
So, during this time, Denock wants to just read as many books as he can get his hands on while sitting in this comfy little seat.
and the chair is comfy. It is plush, and you sink a good, probably a solid inch or two into the chair.
This
yeah,
is
and then
nice.
Harding will also hand over the cloak to
Valinar,
Valinar. Yeah, I can't remember
Okay.
his name for a second.
you okay?
Oh yeah, I'm perfectly fine.
Stroking out, don't mind me. Okay. Um,
I've been like that all day.
You're like that every single time I talk to you.
all right. So, Dinok is gonna read. Let's just go down the list here. So, Dinok, Katya, what do you want to do during this time?
Since I have extra time, perhaps I can. Perhaps there's a book somewhere about controlling magic.
Okay.
I'll take up. If there is something like that, I'll pull it off the shelf and I'll take it upstairs with me to read in silence.
Okay. I imagine when because of the way you said that, I imagine you just walk up there and slap the button and sit down in the silent area.
No,
okay.
no, not like that. I don't want to be trapped. I meant like, where it's quieter. It'd be nice and quiet up in the barracks while everybody else is down here.
Also,
their
we've
thing.
never removed the chamber pot.
I'm not going over there.
All right, so you're doing that. Cardin, what do you want to do? Oh, I guess, yeah, Cardin, what do you want to do during some of this downtime? You have, like, a day. Or the better part of a day, I guess I should say.
Well, obviously, Cardin gives a thing to Valnar, and then basically he practices with his gauntlets and, like, using them.
Oh,
Like,
right.
just to get used to using them.
Mm-hmm. Also, because it is another day, you need to feed your pet.
Yes.
So, for the sake of this day, will you go ahead and mark off, because I do need you to start keeping track of this. Go ahead and mark off for today 5 rations.
Yep.
That you feed your pet rock.
Pet.
Okay. You do that. Valinar.
Pardon, open.
Anything you want to do, Valinar?
There we go.
Olimar's tired of trying to find answers basically on his own, so he's going to go ahead and use sending to contact Nadon.
Okay.
Just kind of.
Why
Hey,
don't-
Nadon.
Why don't you have a think on what you want to say, so that you can
Okay.
use those 25 words, and I'm going to have a couple people do a couple rolls, and then we'll come back to you, okay?
Okay.
Sounds good. Alright, and I think Asta probably would just be your sparring partner, Cardin, if you guys so desire.
Yeah,
Alright.
we'd probably do that. Also, I'd probably bring up, probably to, the others that we still have the jawbone of the Grey Render and the wings of the Night Gaunt in order to make items with.
Okay. Okay. Let's start with Dinok then. So, Dinok, go ahead and make your investigation check as you're kind of reading through some of these books, just to see if anything else kind of interesting appears.
I just realized that I had 65 rations.
You know what? This kind of makes sense. Dinok, because of the comfy chair, the warm, the general warmth coming from the hearth of the fireplace, and having a relatively decent book that you can tell is no way, shape, or form any relevance to what you guys are currently going through, or information that you would find, necessary.
It's just a minor thing about how to make simple spells a little bit better.
Sure, yeah.
A little bit more efficient.
Mm-hmm. And eventually, as you're kind of just reading through it, you just doze off and enjoy a nice afternoon nap next to a warm fire and a very comfy chair. Oh, that was a natural one. So
Yeah. Personally, I was like, do I want to let that stand or do I want to inspire it? And it's like, nah.
Katya, you are looking for books on the weave, basically, or controlling magic. So go ahead and roll your investigation.
Oh boy, here we go with investigation again.
Yep. It is not a good stat tonight.
I'll take 14.
14.
Okay.
Not bad.
But let's look at this. Yeah, that was a 3 on the dice to a 14, it says.
Yeah.
It is.
It's super broken.
Yeah,
It's
roll
driving
20
me
is
nuts.
being fucky wucky tonight. You can turn it off, but
Yeah, like I could open Asta, but I couldn't open Carden.
Oh my. D-Dog can open anybody.
Okay, so you're looking for magic.
Kind of in reference to my findings earlier with the scorch marks.
Oh, okay.
So I can get a better understanding of that, and see if I can implement it myself.
You're looking for more information on that. Okay. I would say with a 14 you would find a book on that. Not necessarily detailing how it works, but kind of talking about the principles and the theoretic equations that could be applied to said formation of magic. So what I want you to do is I want you to make a... I'm not going to say Arcana, because this book is not very good for Arcana. I will say just make a general intelligence check to comprehend the details of this.
Oh!
After a
That's
while...
a 5.
It's a 5. And after a little while of kind of reading through it and being like, okay. My head hurts. What did he just say? What the theory of what now? What? No, okay, I gotta stop. And eventually, you have to give up on that particular book.
Do they have a picture book that's manipulation for dummies, or
They
how
do.
to bend your spells for babies?
They do, and you pick it up, and when you open it, it's just a mirror.
Aha! I see what they did there.
Manipulation.
Uh-huh.
Valinar, do you have an idea on a message?
Yeah. Yep, it's exactly 25 words.
Perfect. I love
Hey,
it.
Nadon. I've been trying to find out as much as I can about Kalistar, but I keep coming up short. Do you know anything?
There is a response, and he sound. You can tell that through the sending. Even he sounds weak. Not like he's like on the death's door kind of weak, but like he just doesn't sound as strong as he did as you remember him being. And he's just kind of like, Kalistar are a extremely rare being to begin with. It's not surprising that you can't find anything. Not many do. Unfortunately, I am not one of them. That would basically be the end of his.
Okay.
Unfortunately, he just does not know. I don't believe he's a Kalistar himself, so no, he's not. So he wouldn't know much about him just because Kalistar are extremely rare to begin with. And he just knows that they're people like everybody else, and the fact that somebody was wanting to kill one was very against his like moral code and stuff. So he very much was like, no. Is there? I guess if there's nothing else, we can.
Valinar does
Oh.
have one other thing. Just in response to that, I'm just typing it out for words.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll see if there's anything else anybody else wants to do this evening while you're typing. Anybody else want to do anything before I say y'all take a long rest?
Do I have
Enoch-
time? Do I have time before the long rest to try and get Denock to translate some of this information for me?
We'll see. We'll see what Denock's gonna do. Denock, what did you say you wanted to do?
After waking up from his nap,
Oh, I must have fell asleep.
It was a
You see
good nap.
Katya standing over you with a book in her hand.
What's your book?
Why can't you be sitting in the other chair across from him? Why do you have to make it weird?
This is information I can't sit on.
But hold on, I have a response for that.
There it is.
Man, we haven't seen Mage Hand in a little while.
Not this session, but I finally earned it.
Anyway,
I get to thinking you enjoy this.
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe I shouldn't be using it on the back of your head anymore.
What should you be using it on then?
Your face.
That's
And
right,
not- and not
develop
the
my resistance to it.
And not the palm.
No matter what part of it slaps me, it all tickles.
Unless the pimp hand.
I don't even want to know what that means. Perhaps you can help me. I seem to be having a little bit of trouble grasping these concepts. This book is rather advanced, and it's been a rough few days. My mind's not all there. I'm trying to figure out practical applications for changing the trajectory of spells, perhaps. For instance, when I cast lightning bolts, instead of it going in a straight line, perhaps I can curve it around a corner, or make it go around my allies.
Hmm?
Yes.
Let me see that.
Oh, okay. I hand him the book. Based on what we saw back in the lab, somebody was doing experimentation in those regards with lightning. They apparently found a way to make it curve, and I thought, what if I could do that myself? And I'm trying to fill in the gaps, and I just can't quite. Maybe you can translate some of this gibberish into common for me.
Alright, let's see here.
go ahead and make an intelligence check for me, Denock.
I'm inspiring that.
Okay.
Better.
Much better.
Much better. Even with a 17, however, even for you, Denock, you're reading this and you're like, what? How? You have to go back and kind of reread some of the material that is presented to you, and you're like, okay. It does seem tricky, and it seems that as if you could, the way that it's kind of described is like excuse me, it's like a feeling, this feeling of like twisting and altering just portions of the spell, and the way that like the runes would align, altering the pattern and stuff like that seems to have a general effect on how the spell is performed or cast. And by just changing runes slightly in the original, in kind of like the way that it would occur within the way that it's cast, and by the way in which your somatic parts take place, and with a little bit of like verbal tweaking as well for like commas and stuff like that. It kind of you eventually kind of gather that by doing these particular kind of tweaks to the spell itself changes slightly. Obviously, there isn't enough here to completely drastically change a spell. Say like you couldn't change a fireball into a line spell and treat it like a line of fire. But you could cause it so that the fireball you could potentially cause it so that like the fireball kind of bends slightly to avoid a particular individual or space. It's not necessarily, and this is a drastically not an easy thing to do. But it is the information given, even to you, Dinoc, is fascinating. It's incredibly hard to understand, but you have an idea of how it could perform. I'm not sure if you've ever seen the anime. Oh God, I am blanking on the name of it. You'll have to forgive me. I watched it years ago, I think, but basically based off of like commas and stuff like that they could alter the performance of the spell, even like a basic one. I don't remember what it's called, but kind of like that. So I'll look it up and tell you later. So yeah, it is possible, and you guys obviously saw results of it. Not sure how much training or anything like that really went into perfecting the method, and this individual who wrote this book or notes is by no means a professor in any definition.
Who's the person who wrote the book?
The author, there is no name. The name on the like where you would credit things to simply reads Y N. The letters Y N.
Y N. Y N. I'm trying to think if I've heard any names that would relate. Y N. Dinoc? Maybe? Can I try a history check?
I mean, I'm gonna say no, just because I don't know.
Oh. Okay.
I don't.
There's no information to actually get from this. Gotcha.
Yeah, to my knowledge, you guys have not met anybody with the letters YN. If Katya can think of somebody like in her backstory from like home or whatever, maybe, but otherwise,
not overly likely. No.
Yeah, I'm like I have nothing to offer you on this one. Like
Gotcha.
You
just made that up. Gotcha.
Not exactly. It's just nobody you guys have come in contact with. I do have information on a YN. You guys just didn't find it. But with that, is there? I guess I'll let Dinoc kind of explain what he learned from the book.
So, according to this, with a few changes here and there, when you're casting this spell, if you feel it, the magic will happen.
Well,
There's a lot of hibbity-bibbity bullshit in this.
It's not totally bullshit. As a matter of fact, most of the casting that I do runs on feeling and emotion. I'm
just saying the way this guy wrote it is a lot of hibbity-bibbity bullshit.
Yeah, I don't understand why they have to add letters to numerical equations either. I don't know what that has to do with magic. But most of the way that I cast definitely most of the way that I cast definitely hinges on feeling it. So what you're saying is, let's take Fireball for example. If I felt like I was like building the fireball myself, the impact points, instead of making it like a big round sphere, I can, move my hands in such a way that it'll still hit, but it'll warp around, say, you or Valinar, who happen to be in the middle of it, so that you're not affected, but I still hit my target.
Exactly. You actually understood this better than you thought.
I mean, in theory, reading it from a book is very different from experiencing it yourself.
Oh no, the actual application of this is going to be a bitch and a half. But you understand
knows?
the concept of it better than you thought.
Who knows? Maybe I'll accidentally figure it out one day, just playing around in the middle of combat. I'll be like, I want to hit this guy, but I don't want to kill Denock doing it. Who knows? Maybe I'll get to a point where perhaps I can alter my magic backfires too. Maybe.
Well, I suppose
sure-
we can go upstairs and test in that room. I'd start with a fire bolt first.
That would be much easier to shape. It is an easier spell to cast. That's for sure. And as long as you keep your distance from me, we shouldn't have to worry about any negative side effects affecting you.
Well, also, as long as you're just cantripping.
Oh, I can trip. I can trip hard.
We've all seen it.
Okay. Valinar, I believe you said you had something.
Yes, sending. Going back to Nadon again. What is going on up there? What happened to you? You sound weaker than you used to. What has Palama done? About 20 words. 21 words.
You can almost hear a sigh, even though it doesn't take up any words. And he just kind of responds with, "Ooh, careful. It's not what she's done, but what she hasn't. It's 10, am receiving less and less food and water. They're hoping to break me physically. I
Help me.
got no. Instead, spiritually. That'll work. You would assume he meant instead of spiritually, but I ran out of words, so.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Alright.
I can't remember. Did you ask Nadon about the teleportation circle in the main chapel area?
I did not.
Okay, I couldn't remember if you did or
I was
not.
I was considering it, but I never did.
Okay. Because that was the thing. I feel like we talked about that off stream or something like that, and then I couldn't remember if you decided to do that at some point or not. And yeah, okay, good to know. Right. Enoch, is there anything else you would like to do? I know you said you were helping Katya with his book issues, but you're a workaholic.
Dinok's going to take another look at the books.
Okay.
This time, any interesting ones he's going to put into his bag.
Okay. I will say just because this is like your third time looking now that the DC of finding a book is a little bit higher. They're books, so it's still not, it's not like they can change very much. But otherwise, because otherwise, there's no point in me just not giving you all the information. Right.
I know, but
so.
At this point, Dinok's not looking for information. He's just looking for an interesting book for
Understood.
downtime reading.
We'll see what titles you can find with a investigation check.
18.
18 is just enough to actually find a title that jumps out at you.
You're just like, how?
I mean, I didn't increase the DC by a ton, but I did increase it. Let me see. Here. Okay. The title that jumps out at you right away, excuse me, is Gods, Angels, and Demons. That's the first title that jumps out at you. And the second title that jumps out at you is The Seven Towers.
Okay.
Other than that, most of them seem... There are a few other, like, random fantasy books here that you're like, okay, this might be an interesting read, or...
Please tell me it's
Fantasy
a collection
books in a
of, like...
fantasy environment. How weird.
What?
What
Please
is?
tell me there...
I'll
One
cast
person at a time, please. Go ahead,
I'll
Dina.
go. Please tell me that there's a Grimm's Fairy Tales analog here.
Sure.
Yes.
Absolutely one. You also find the story of the acorn in the tree, and we'll say another like child's book that is rather amusing. You can choose your fable if you wish. What were you saying, Katya? I couldn't quite hear you.
What would constitute a fantasy novel in a fantasy world?
So they still have like nursery rhymes and children's stories. They still have their version of the tortoise and the hare. It's just not a tortoise and a hare. It's like it'd be
It's a turtle and a... What's the
Tabaxi.
rabbit race?
Well, rabbit race? Technically, there isn't one, to my knowledge. Tabaxi would probably be the closest.
The Haragon?
What?
The Haragon?
I thought there was a race called Rabbit Folk.
Is there? I'm not familiar with it.
Blind, what's the race that Sarah had for that one
Haragon.
shot?
Haragon. Yeah, it's a real thing.
Oh yeah, there it is. Oh, it's because it's in Beyond the Witchlight. I'm not super familiar with that book, so I apologize.
Yeah, she was playing a fake one shot.
Yeah, so Haragon. Yep.
The turtle and the Haragon.
Yeah, pretty much.
Tortellini. Ooh,
Hey, if it's a house full of Harengon whores, would it be a harem?
Get out.
Picks from call.
There we go.
Claudia just drops dead.
Yeah, Katya, can you make a wisdom saving throw for me as I cast Finger of Death? No, I'm kidding.
I'll do it.
Anyway. Okay. So yeah, you find some interesting...
Hold on.
Oh. What am I holding on to?
I kicked him.
Oh, God. He may not rejoin. It's almost midnight.
Oh, he's typing.
Oh, boy. Oh, he asked me
Oh,
if he
I-
was removed from the entire server.
Oh my god.
Did you kick him from the entire server?
I didn't.
Lols. Oh, he's not showing up as the barkeep on the side in the backroom stream, so you kicked him from the entire server, or at least from that channel.
I thought it was just from the call.
Oh no, you have to
Oh
do that.
my God.
You have to do that from the call itself. Like,
I did.
okay.
Oh, yeah, he's- Oh, there he is.
Okay.
Oh, I think you kicked him from this room or the back stream because I just saw him in general.
Yeah, I invited him back to
Yeah, let me.
this one. I think. Oh my god.
Oh my word, I am s-
I'll need my. Oh, he got it. Okay.
There, he's keg tapper again.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm so sorry. I thought I was just kicking you from the call.
Jesus, that was a bit extreme, don't you think? Come on.
What you said?
So
We're just gonna not just remove him from the call, we're gonna kick him from the server entirely and strip him of all privileges for one joke.
so there
But
is.
that's cool. I can just go to bed. Thank you.
I can see the confusion. He selected kick Rona, which that's all it says is kick Rona, but that kicks him from the server.
Oh my
Disconnect.
god.
Disconnect would remove him from the call.
That was super extreme.
Yeah, but it was an
Like,
accident.
God, it wasn't worth that. You just created what works for yourself.
It was a bad fucking joke, dude.
Somebody will laugh at it.
I'm sure
I
they
mean, I
are.
did, but it still deserves.
It deserved all the mage hands in chat. So, let's move on before. God, fuck. Is there anything else anybody else would like to do before we?
No, because if I make any more jokes, I might get thrown again.
No, you won't. Looks
Little
directly
salty
at
about that.
Rom. Ugh. Anyway, anybody else want to do anything? Attempt anything? Anything like that?
I think we're pretty set for me and Asta.
There's not. You guys are fighters. What?
Yeah.
What is book?
Yeah, exactly.
Like Asta's intelligent, but she's not a like bookworm.
Yeah.
These guys are actively looking for stuff. Like other than helping people, there's not a whole lot you could have done.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, also, it is canon. We decided, Blind and I, that Cardin can read. He just chooses not to. So. Okay. Well then, I will say, for the sake of argument's sake, you guys don't actually have to write off any rations for today, as the tower provides. It simply just requires, after the food that has landed on the table has been consumed, it simply requires Denoc to think more, or more food, and more food will drop onto the table where Cardin and Asta currently are stationed. You guys eat your fill, and then enjoy a nice long rest in the tower's barracks. Everybody can have their own room. There's nothing that happens in the night, as the tower is one of the safe havens of Mundus. I will say, unless there's anything anybody wants to desperately do in the morning, I think next session we will begin with you guys starting to head up the mountain and head towards the fallen celestial's domain.
That sounds good to me.
Sounds like a plan.
Yep.
All right. Well then, we're gonna go ahead and call it there for the night, guys. Thank you all so much for coming out and checking out what we're doing tonight. I had
Listening
a lot of
to our
fun.
bullshit.
I honestly half expected for you guys to be able to make it up the mountain tonight, but I also don't know why I anticipated or expected that.
Look, dude, with us, take your expectations and then cut them either in half or a full quarter.
Oh, I'm aware. I always just feel like games will blast through stuff if I don't have anything prepared, but then when I prepare something, you guys spend an hour on something that I wrote a sentence about.
We will hyperfixate on the weirdest things.
So, anyway, again, thank you guys for all of that. I'm hoping to enjoy my weekend. I hope everybody does as well. And I will see you everybody next week for episode 80 of Mundus.
Yay, 80!
Thank you and good night, everybody. Have a good night. Have a good weekend.
y'all.
Come on.